Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into something that's totally transforming how we see businesses, from the inside out. We're talking about cost audits and a kind of nerdy but super powerful tool called XBRL. Stick with me because this is changing everything.
So, let's kick things off with a big question. Beyond just looking at profits, how can you really tell if a company is running like a well-oiled machine or if it's just, wasting a ton of money?
Okay, so most of us have heard of a financial audit, right? It's basically a look back at what already happened, kind of like a report card for the last year. But there's this other, much more powerful tool, a cost audit. This isn't a postmortem. Nope. It's more like a real-time diagnostic, a live look inside the engine while it's still running.
Right, so this is all about going beyond those historical numbers to see what's really happening with a company's health right now. And this quote from the Institute of Cost Accountants of India, it just hits the nail on the head. They draw this super clear line. A financial audit is a postmortem. It's looking back. But a cost audit, that's an investigation into efficiency, looking at every little detail while the work is in progress. It's all about being proactive, not just reacting after the fact. So this brings us to the efficiency detective. What is this cost auditor actually looking for? Let's pop open their toolkit. Okay, so the official definition, it sounds a little dry, I'll admit. It's all about verifying cost records, making sure everything follows the rules and plans, checking the boxes.
But the real mission? Oh, it's way more active than that. Think of it as a hunt for errors, for fraud, and maybe most importantly, for hidden opportunities to slash costs and get way more efficient. We're talking about digging up inefficiencies in materials, labor, even machinery, and giving leaders the solid data they need to make huge decisions. And when I say thorough, I mean incredibly thorough. We're talking about digging into at least 30 different categories of data. Everything from materials and utilities all the way to R&D and shipping. Seriously, no stone is left unturned. And they're asking some really tough questions that a normal financial audit would just fly right over. Things like, are our machines or our people just sitting around doing nothing? Do we have way too much cash tied up in raw materials we don't need yet? Was there waste in the production line that we totally could have prevented? These are the real operational weaknesses they're trying to find.
Okay, so our detective has done all this amazing work. They found all these incredible insights. But now we have a new problem.
The result is this thing called the cost audit report. And historically, it's just a dense, static document. All that valuable intelligence is basically locked inside a PDF file. You can't easily compare it, you can't analyze it at scale, it's just stuck.
So the big question becomes, how do you unlock all that intelligence? How do you make it, actually usable? And this, my friends, is where a massive digital transformation begins.
And the solution is a universal standard, basically a digital language for business.
It's called XBRL. That stands for Extensible Business Reporting Language. The name's a mouthful, I know, but here's all you need to remember. It's like putting a barcode on every single piece of data in a report. Every number gets its own unique machine-readable tag.
And this is the perfect way to think about it. Before XBRL, reports were like old paper maps. Static, hard to update, and the information was just isolated. But with XBRL, it's like switching to Google Maps. Suddenly, the data is interactive, you can analyze it, you can connect it to other data. It's a total game changer.
So what does this actually do? Well, first, it tags data right at the source. This is huge because it lets systems automatically check for errors. No more typos throwing everything off. And for anyone using the data, you can now pull it, compare it, and visualize it any way you want, instantly. It creates this one common language so everyone's on the same page.
Okay, so let's zoom out for a second. We've gone from a paper report to tagged data. So what? Why does this actually matter in the real world? Well, a payoff is for literally everyone. For the companies themselves, they get way better control by linking up all their financial and cost data. For regulators, they suddenly have access to reliable, industry-wide data to make smarter policies. And for investors and, well, all of us, it means much more transparency and better analytics. Ultimately, what we're talking about is going from a single static audit report to a whole universe of interconnected, analyzable business intelligence. It's about turning what used to be a chore, a compliance headache, into a goldmine of valuable insights.
And that leaves us with a really fascinating thought for the future. As every single piece of business data gets its own digital tag, what questions will we be able to answer next? What new patterns will we find? We're really just at the beginning of this.